Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are focusing on, well, a single legendary genetic cut. One that did way more than just sell well. It changed the entire flavor landscape for a generation.
A whole generation, yeah.
We're tracing the rise and reign of the Tangie strain.
The citrus dynasty, it's rightly called. That's the ultimate case study in strategic distribution and, I guess, chemical resilience.
So our mission today is to really unpack how this one specific profile,
That unmistakable loud tangerine snap.
exactly how that achieved such immediate global dominance and why it became so important to both breeders and the extraction community.
And you said something important just there, the timing.
The timing is crucial. Tangie didn't just arrive in a vacuum. It emerged when the market was almost completely dominated by these fuel-forward profiles, what we call the gas-heavy era.
Oh, for years. I mean, for years, if you wanted top shelf, you were looking for intense diesel earth skunk.
Right. So imagine walking into a room where everything smells like, I don't know, high-octane fuel.
And then someone just opens a crate of fresh, sharp, vibrant citrus.
It's a total anomaly.
A complete sensory anomaly. It basically rebooted the consumer palate. It demanded that breeders start hunting for fruit again.
Okay, let's unpack this journey then, because the story starts as a targeted mission in California. This was not a fluke.
That's right. This wasn't some random garden find. Its lineage is often tied back to what's known as the Cali-O revival.
Cali-O.
Yeah, Tangie was born from Cali-O sparks. And a really concerted effort by specific hunters to trap down an unusually loud tangerine phenotype that was growing in the States.
That distinction is important.
It's crucial.
This wasn't just the sweet orange, it was the loud tangerine pheno.
Meaning the terpene content was isolated specifically for, volume and intensity, sheer loudness.
Precisely, and this is where it starts to move from this, underground success to a real global force.
This is where the key players come in and what we call the global ferry.
So we trace the initial circulations, starting with Davy Crockett in California. He was integral in isolating and then sharing that specific cut.
Right, and then he passed it into the hands of the DNA Genetics Network.
And that handoff, that was the pivotal moment, wasn't it?
It was everything. Once DNA Genetics had the cut, they immediately initiated the global ferry. They strategically moved it to Amsterdam.
Which bypassed the slower, state-by-state buildup you'd see in the U.S. at the time.
Exactly. It placed a premium, flavor-forward California genetic directly into the heart of the European and really the international seed market.
And that move gave Tangie two incredibly powerful platforms to launch from commercially.
Two platforms, yeah.
It was officially released through Reserva Privada, which was DNA Genetics' U.S.-facing branch. And at the same time, that same genetics served as the foundation for the launch of Crockett Family Farms.
The dual approach was just, it was genius. You had Reserva Privada creating immediate buzz in North America, while Crockett Family Farms was pushing it internationally with the same genetic base.
So both platforms were ensuring Tangie wasn't just some California novelty.
No, it was a legitimate, globally recognized commercial breeding tool right out of the gate.
Okay, here's where we have to turn to strategy, though. Because getting a popular cut out of California is one thing, but achieving critical mass across global markets, that usually takes years.
Years of work. Stabilization, yeah.
So what was the mechanism that let Tangie spread so fast?
The secret weapon, and this is often overlooked, was the distribution model. It was all about feminized seeds.
Feminized seeds.
DNA Genetics made a very deliberate, very strategic choice to prioritize the release of feminized Tangie cross drops.
So if I'm a grower in, say, Europe or Canada, I'm not waiting months or years for a stable, regular seed line.
No, not at all. They were dropping ready-to-use female-only hybrids almost immediately, and the speed of adoption this enabled was, well, it was unprecedented.
It just accelerated the whole breeding cycle for everyone else.
Drastically.
Yeah.
It let them instantly access and work with that loud tangerine profile without having to worry about males or, big pheno hunts themselves.
But didn't that kind of strategy pushing feminized seeds over the more traditional, regular lines, didn't that pose a risk? Purists often want regular seeds for stability.
That's a great point. And yes, there's always skepticism in those circles. But the thing is, the demand for this specific flavor profile was so overwhelming that the market just accepted the convenience.
The convenience won.
It did. These feminized drops meant that crosses like 24K, that's kosher kush, crossed with Tangie and Clementine, which is Tangie and lemon skunk, they were able to reach critical mass so quickly. It was a purely commercial play that just flooded the market with the flavor everyone wanted.
The flavor was desirable, but the timing was also, perfect. It connected its strengths with a huge technological shift in the industry. We have to talk about the terp hammer.
Right. So if you connect this back to the bigger picture, Tangie exploded right when the concentrate industry was achieving scale, right in the middle of the shatter and BHO boom.
And we should probably clarify for anyone listening, BHO.
Right, butane hash oil.
It's a highly efficient solvent-based extraction, and those extractions they're notoriously brutal on delicate terpenes.
Just brutal. Most of those volatile monoterpenes, the kind you find on a lot of gassy strains, they just get lost or degraded in the process.
And that's the core technical advantage of Tangie.
That's it. It wasn't just loud in flower form. It had a key chemical structure that made it a terp hammer. Its distinct orange peel terps survived extraction.
Yeah.
Way better than its competitors.
Why is that chemically?
Well, the dominant terpene here is limon. And limon, along with some of the other heavier citrus compounds present, it tends to be more structurally resilient. It's less volatile than the lighter ones like myrcene or pine that you find in fuel profiles.
So its structure is just tougher.
It's tougher. And that meant when you hit it with the heat and solvent of BHO processing, the final extract still had a massive concentration of that signature orange flavor.
That makes it incredibly reliable. And for an extractor, reliability means profit.
Directly. Consistent product. And the sources all note this trait was so pronounced that Tangie became famous for staining rigs.
Yeah, that's the physical proof, right?
Absolutely. If your concentrate literally left a reddish-orange tint or residue on your glass equipment, you knew you were running Tangie. For any serious concentrate menu during that era, skipping Tangie was. It was economically impossible for about 3 or 4 years.
So the market voted with its dollars, and the judges, they voted with their scorecards. This commercial success was validated by cup dominance almost immediately.
The award timeline is critical. It shows Tangie was winning on multiple fronts, as a flower, as a hash, and as a foundation for new genetics.
Let's run through the core receipts. It starts in Amsterdam.
2012. It makes its first big splash, takes 3rd place in the Seedco. Hash category for the Tangie, that was the signal.
Just a year later.
A year later, 2013, it jumped straight to 1st place in the Amsterdam Seedco Sativa category. The momentum was just unstoppable.
And then the crowning achievement in 2014, which really signaled its complete takeover.
Historic sweep, that's what we call it. In the same Amsterdam Sativa category, Tangie took both 1st place with Crockett's cut and 2nd place overall.
The total domination of the category.
And remember, this is all happening while it was simultaneously stacking U.S. extract podiums. It was winning across the Atlantic as a plant and winning here as an oil.
The triple threat. Dominating breeding, crushing the U.S. extract scene, sweeping the European cups. But a strain's true legacy is the family it creates. Tangie didn't just win its own awards, it built an entire generation of fruit-forward genetics.
It really did. Tangie offered this bright, reliable palate that breeders had been craving. It gave them that high-intensity, stable citrus note that could pair with everything else out there.
Especially the heavier profiles. So let's walk through some of those key foundational crosses. We mentioned 24K and Clementine. What else stands out from those early days?
I think Sour Kanji, that sour diesel cross with Tangie, is fascinating. It was a direct, intentional bridge.
A bridge? How so?
Well, it took that revered, established fuel profile, sour diesel, and slammed it together with a new citrus boom. It created a hybrid that let older consumers kind of transition their palates.
Bridging the gas-heavy era with the future of flavor. I like that.
Then you get the more dessert and tropical stuff, Tangilope, which is chocolate and Tangie. The various banana lines like double Tangie Banana and Banana Split.
It just became the perfect pairing for anything sweet.
A sweet or tropical, yeah. And we even saw Taffie, which is LA Confidential and Tangie, showing it could work with deep indicas too.
And this isn't just a history lesson. Tangie is still powering modern classics. You can't walk into a dispensary today without seeing its influence.
No way. Look at the current flavor icons that are powered by Tangie. The most recognizable has to be the fusion with the cookies line.
Like Tropicana cookies.
Tropicana cookies, GSC, and Tangie. And orange cookies, which comes from an OG Tangie line crossed with GSC.
That's just a perfect combination. You get the dense structure and dessert feel of cookies, but paired with that sharp, vibrant citrus snap from Tangie. It's flavor engineering.
And that formula just keeps evolving. Think about forbidden fruit cherry pie and Tangie. That gave us that complex dark fruit and orange fusion,
Or mimosa.
mimosa, which is a cross of Clementine and purple punch, so Tangie is its crucial grandparent. It's deep in the genetic bedrock.
Even in newer, lighter profiles like Squirt, which is blueberry muffin and Tangie, the influence is obvious.
It seems like if a breeder wants to guarantee a vivid orange or tangerine note survives the grow room or the extraction process, Tangie is the go-to parent.
The genetic guarantee of flavor survival.
That's a good way to put it. And you see it everywhere, even in niche stuff. The mix lane, notables like Rukukuku OG, Tangerine Diesel, Purple Tangelines, it really injected itself into every corner of the market.
So, if we pull all this together and summarize the full impact of Tangie, what's the final takeaway?
I think the full scope is that Tangie rebooted citrus on a global scale. It successfully bridged California cut culture, the Amsterdam commercial seed banks, and that explosive U.S. extract market.
And that whole bridge was built on the back of resilient terpenes.
Exactly, and it delivered huge, specific value to every tier of the industry. For breeders, it was that bright, reliable palate for flavor innovation.
For extract.
For extractors, it was the terp hammer, guaranteed flavor retention, stable, high-value oil during that volatile BHO boom.
And for the consumer, it was that specific, unmistakable tangerine snap that just cut through all the noise of diesel and skunk. It redefined what top-shelf flavor could be.
That's a powerful lesson, really. It shows that commercial innovation can be driven by, well, chemical properties. The success of Tangie proves that true market dominance isn't just about winning awards. It's about engineering a flavor profile that's resilient enough to survive challenging processes.
Making it commercially indispensable.
For years.
Which raises an interesting final question for you to mull over. Given Tangie's success in creating such a dominant flavor profile, what happens when a single genetic line like the Citrus Dynasty becomes too dominant globally? Does that very necessity for flavor stability eventually start to limit genetic diversity? That's something worth tracking.